Welcome to another episode of the Dealership Download. Tonight we have a very special guest, Roger Bacon Jr. himself. Roger, before we get started, who are you? What do you do? And how can people find you on social media?
My name is Roger Bacon Jr. I am a automotive sales professional located in Farmington Hills, Michigan. All of my social media is some form of Roger Bacon Jr. Or Roger Bacon Jr. Any form of that. So that's how they can find me. You can find me under any hashtag of Experience the Difference as well.
So, what inspired you to start the Experience the Difference? And how do you get that message across on social media? And what message do you hope to portray on social media?
Great question. So Experience the Difference. So it came from me initially deciding to build my own brand as as opposed to use Suburban, the dealership group that I'm with, or I was with. Now I'm with Lithia, who does business as Suburban. But so Suburban has a slogan or a catchphrase, and it's make the choice. Like make in the Metro Detroit area, if you were to talk to a any any average person on the street and you said, hey, what is the higher end dealership group in the area? Because obviously we're Metro Detroit, there's a bunch of us. They're gonna say Suburban. It's because they decided to go more corporate while being privately owned. So they gave a very corporate look, that they gave a very specific, simple, very I loved it, honestly. It was so simple. And so that is why my logo is so simple. I like that style, and it worked well with the dealership, which is why if you see my business cards or like on any of my things, I'll have the little S. That was a big negotiation with them, to only put the S of their logo on top of mine, and it was smaller than mine too, which is a massive, thing. But experience the difference came from that. That came from me going, okay, if I'm going to be inside of the dealership and I'm going to be offering something that I consider to be unique, in the sense of the type of experience that people have, I tailor it to them. So I came from a theater background. I studied theater in college. And so everybody said, well, theater and sales, like, what do you mean? What are you doing? And that came from, I put on a show for every individual person, and all these things that come into my brain when it comes to theater, like the show must go on. Basically just everybody deserves the best every night. Um, Basically you mess your lines up, you keep going, you know where you're at. And so the idea is that through everybody having these individual experiences, I found that all of them were like, wow, this was really different. Like this was different than I've ever experienced. I'm like, hey, experience a difference. And they started laughing, so I ended up putting on a business cards, and I tried it that way. And I thought it was a cool way for people to ask me about it. And they go, what does that mean? And I'm like, come find out. So
So, what inspired you to start doing social media? Because you haven't been doing it very long. You just started this year really consistently,
super
building your
consistent.
brand.
Yeah.
What inspired you to do it?
So it was a little bit of shoulda, woulda, coulda, if I'll call it that. So in 2015, when the Hellcat came out, I started posting online very small things, just pictures of cars, letting people know that I was trying to, in my head, I was like, I'm going to be the SRT guy. Like, I'm going to be the SRT. I kept trying to work smarter, not harder, right? I'm like, if I get paid commission and the commission is based off of the price of the car, then I want to sell the most expensive cars I possibly can. And so when Hellcats came out, everything was, at the time, the dealership in the whole world was selling them for over sticker. And it was my first experience at selling anything over what it's worth because of the supply and the demand. And I'm like, man, this is going to be wild. I'm like, I need to be the guy that sells these. I'm like, who's going to know that I even have these cars if I don't share them? And so I started taking pictures of these cars. And I remember I actually just showed a picture yesterday or 2 days ago to one of my coworkers of a red Challenger 392 with stripes on it. I literally took a photo of it. I posted it. I posted it in a couple different places, and I legit sold a car straight up off the internet in 2015. to a gym trainer who still buys cars from me. He's bought a Trackhawk from me. He's bought a bunch of stuff from me now. But that was where I started. So I knew it worked. I also knew how much work it was. I'm like, these guys are nuts. Like, how are they doing social media? Anytime I see somebody doing it, I'm like, man, how are they doing this and selling cars and doing this and doing that? So in 2017, Sean Hayes, who I've been shouting out and up and down, he's in my opinion is like in from what I remember with social media car sales, he's like the forefather of us. If you guys don't know who Sean Hayes is, you should look him up on Facebook. His videos are still insane. But him and Glenn Lundy um, were at a store in Kentucky and doing crazy stuff. Yeah, you're familiar. Yeah, but Dan
Yeah.
Cummins. I'm so
Yeah.
familiar with Dan Cummins because of these guys. They used to host Saturday morning meetings. They used to host Sean Hayes used to host morning meetings. Glenn Lundy started his Rise and Grind podcast during this time in 2017. So like people, I've been in the automotive social media game for so long because I'm old for relatively for this stuff. That when I decided to, I knew how much work it was, and so this year the reason I decided to turn it on in January was because I had tested it in October through January 1st. I was going to try and I'm like, if I can post once a day, just anything, I don't care what it is, but I want to try and I was also attempting to make videos, not like just taking some BS, like, just I really wanted to have a thought. Obviously, you guys see my content, like I have a high level for myself that I try to hold my standards to. And that is purely just on me. And so I knew what I was going to do to myself trying to make content. I was like, okay, if I can do this once a day for a month, I'll then try and do it for the quarter. And I did it through October. And I thought it was so insane. I was like, holy crap, I posted 31 times today. I was like, this is insane. Because I'd done the math. I actually, before that time, I'd only posted 56 times on Facebook at all, as all the social media I did, all the cars I sold through it, total of 56 posts for cars at all. When now I'm posting 56 times a week. And so, it's insane. Like, but that has graduated. So when this year came, I knew the level of work it was going to take. My wife and I had realized that with her not working, the financial situation we were in, as far as just trying to make really big leaps forward, I was doing really good for all of us. And then we just kept having kids, which is a blessing. But the reality of my financial situation just changed. And so I was like, okay, if I'm going to be at work all the time, then how can I make money while I'm at work? And it sounds funny because people, when they hear me talk about this, they're like, really, you doing it for the money? I'm like, yes, 100%. Like, I make content for the money, but that's why I try to make good content, because I want it to be worth something to people. I want it to be easily monetized by brands and go, hey, this is so good, you could actually do this for us. I'm like, okay, sounds good, pay me. It's because I'm already there. I want to sell cars. I love my job. That was the biggest thing. I could have quit my job and went and done real estate full time and made double the money that I make selling cars very easily. It's not about the money. I mean, it is and it isn't. I love selling cars. I love it. And I'm like, if I'm going to be here and I can make content and get paid off the content, create a salary for myself in my head at some point in time. My goal is a year. I was going to give myself a year of building a brand and doing this, and then allow myself to start challenge myself to make money next year with content. Starting in January will be my a whole new,
It's your new goal.
yeah, a whole new, level of goals to become monetized in a new way. But that was why, honestly. And then it's progressed. I met all of you guys and TikTok, which I was completely unfamiliar with. I joined TikTok in January for the first time ever. I'm still unfamiliar with it, really. I post to it like it's Instagram, and it's definitely not. So, but yeah, sorry for the long-winded answer, but yeah, that's
No,
where it all came from.
good.
Good, good.
So my next question kind of leads into, you've been in the car business for a while. You've sold cars for a while. You've done a little bit of different things as well. And as you know, everybody who gets into the business, they hit kind of those high months first. They're doing good, and then it kind of plateaus off.
Oh yeah.
What was the defining moment in your career that changed the up and downs for you to consistency that you've had?
Um, it's funny. It's a good question because right now I'm in a down. Like I've somehow had 2 bad months in a row, relatively. But in the totality of my career, the consistency came from me deciding that this was a career. Not even that it was a career because I'm very career minded. I spent 10 years at the last place I was at selling and managing and being involved with. So that mentality was already there, but I really made a promise to myself and to my general sales manager. Him and I really like we decided we were going to team up. Like it is our we look at it as our store. Um, I am a staple in there. That everybody knows it. Every customer comes in there and they see me, and they know that they can come and talk to me without knowing that they know me or not. Um, I'm looked at like that in there, and I honestly I love it. I love having the pressure. I love having the wherewithal. I love having the freedom. I love all of it. And so um it it came from me choosing to be like all in with the store, with the company, going like, okay, I like Lithia. I've decided I really like Lithia. Like I was thinking about it. I like the leadership. I was like, there is really good chance that I can help push my general sales manager and my sales manager and my entire team like into a higher level of leadership, which then allows me more freedom, which I'm all about. Like I'm all about giving everything and I have and then some to the team, as long as I know they don't force me to do it. I'm so independent that way that like the second you tell me I got to do, second you tell me I got to make 3 videos a day, I promise you I won't. Purely because you said I had to.
You're telling me I have
Yeah,
to.
tell
I'm
me I
not.
have to. I'm like, it's yeah, that's not happening. So, um, but yeah,
I'm the
that's
same way.
where that came from. Him and I really decided like it's almost like you make a career partner choice, like a business partner choice. Like we decided we were going into business together. We were going to run this store into the sky if we possibly can, and that was it. That was
There you go. What is
so. That's
something
go ahead.
that top performers do that you would say average salespeople typically look over?
Train. I I preach this, man. Like I practice all the time. I take the people that I know are going to ask me a billion questions because I need practice answering them easily and smoothly and very articulately and consistently with this level of demeanor where people can go, "Wow, okay, I believe you." I'm like, "Yeah," because I've actually looked this stuff up 25 times because I take all the hard customers. I love the guy that comes in with the briefcase. I'm like, all right, dude, what do you know that I don't know? Like, those are my favorite people.
Yeah.
So that is I think that is the number one thing that top performers do that regular and average salespeople do not do. They don't even think about it.
What is one dealership process you wish you could replace tomorrow?
Right now, based off what I'm learning in the social media world, it would be to better allocate the funds for marketing. I really think that I really think that as I'm learning what social media is able to do in the mindset of being known before you're needed, which obviously like we're all learning that it's a big catchphrase in our community. Um, those things I'm learning the value of it is just is exponential. We don't know the value of it yet, I think. And I think if we marketed that correctly like that right now and kind of got on the forefront of that and chose to stand on our name as far as getting people in the door and then using social media to really spread it, I think that would be the key.
What do you feel like is one thing that dealerships across the board are missing with being able to retain clients and give the great experience?
Oh man, I could talk about this till I'm blue in the face. I think they care a lot. I think dealerships care a ton. I think the people inside, for the most part, especially the leadership, I would argue that most leadership in dealerships, especially all the ones that I've frequented, I'm familiar with, the people that are inside of it, I think they care more than the customer thinks that we do. And they are so unbelievably horrible at communicating that to the customer that the customer doesn't even want to hear it if they do. They don't want to hear how much that we actually want to treat you and how much we really want to take care of you and how bad I actually feel that I know you left 3 days ago and your check engine light's on this used car that we definitely spent more money on than we should have to fix it, and it still somehow has a check engine light on. Um, and I feel for you. I wish I could just give you my car, you know? And I think it's really hard for us to get that out to people. Because I would argue that a lot of us, most of us feel that way when we're getting those phone calls, when we're fielding that stuff. It's they and I've been a consumer. I'm a consumer, right? And I'm like, dude, does this person even care that I'm like struggling right now? Like,
Yeah.
I was thinking about my AC unit being out last year and I bought a warranty for it and I refused to freaking pay the money to fix it because I paid for the warranty. I'm like, just you do what you said you were going to do when I paid for this thing. So I totally understand. And I think it's just such a hard time. We have a hard time communicating that.
So I've got one last question for you before the final question at the end. What is one piece of advice you would give to somebody who's looking to get into the industry?
I was asked this question the other day and I froze with it because I think of it personally. And personally, I would say if you have a family or if you have anybody that you see all the time, I would, and I maybe you and this is why I don't know how you guys live your lives outside of this TikTok world that we're in. And so I don't know if you would agree with me or not, but I would say you need to find a certain amount of time that you're willing to just go all in as far as time consuming and education on how to do this. Um, that you should be prepared to work twice as much as your hours say in the dealership to build yourself up so fast that it allows you to sustain this commission only job. That is the biggest thing that I've noticed as a manager, as just a really, I mean, now I'm 22 years in a commission sales field of some sort, specifically retail, which I absolutely love. And that is the biggest thing is people just don't know how to consistently make money. And it's because they don't lean. I when I train people, I'm like, you need to lean on yourself more. You need to lean on the things that make you you, because that is how people are going to remember, come back, want to be with you, want to share with you, want to spend with you, want to be around you, want to tell their friends about you, want to say hi when they're in the area. Like that is the key. And if they're not willing to do that right away, like right away, like when I mean like immediately, like it needs to be okay. I'm gonna work. If my hours of the day are 9 hours a day, then I'm gonna work 17 hours a day for the first year. Whether it's learning my product as good as I possibly can so that I can make better videos and communicate more with my consumer. Whether it's learning how the buying process works inside of my dealership, why it's unique to the customer, so I can better communicate that. If they're not willing to do those things right away, because of this world that we're now catapulting ourselves into with this social media, then they're going to struggle.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you right now, Roger, before we get to the end. So I'm going to turn it over to Danny and let Danny start answering questions. But I do want to say thank you for spending your time tonight. No, it's
Yes, thank
super
you.
late having to do this.
No, no,
And
you're
that just
good. It's
goes to
perfect.
show
Actually, the timing's perfect.
we spend hours of our life after work doing this. And we
Yes.
do these podcasts, we go on TikTok lives to learn every night. For anybody who says that it's easy to separate the two after you get home, I don't see how. It's what we
Yeah,
do every day, all day.
all day.
But Danny, I'll turn it over to you.
Well, I'm just gonna
Thank
say
you.
this. I love my bacon. That's all every single
Love it,
time I
bro.
see it, I'm like, dude, I love my bacon. So here's my question. What
Yes,
makes
sir.
you different from other TikTokers or salespeople? What makes you different from everybody else?
So the thing that I honestly think that separates me, or that can separate me, or maybe will separate me eventually in the future, is the way that my brain is calculated when it comes to explaining things. I have a weird ability to break things down into a childlike level of understanding for people. And I think that is what is going to separate me going into the future, is my ability to explain things that are really difficult to understand through a 60-second or 90-second video that allow people to feel better understood, or at least better informed before they walk into whatever dealership they're going to be working with.
Nice. So here's a very tough one because I'm having trouble doing this now. How do you separate you work in sales, you do real estate, and obviously you have a family. How how can you jiggle all of them together? How do you make time for everything?
Honestly, I don't. Right now, this is set up as a year-long proof of concept, literally, for this, like I said, the monetization platform, potentially selling the idea of how to make these videos to other dealerships. So right now, I have a very skewed um, level of input versus what I'm actually getting out. I'm not getting anything from it. I'm not getting more time with my family. I'm getting less of everything at the moment. You know, my hours are doubled and I'm making the same amount of money I was last year. but right now it's an investment. And so I look at our world in our lives as levels of like, there's going to be times where I'll give you another example, Danny. So 3 years ago, I'm sorry, or prior to me running, taking over as a sales manager in 2024, yeah, would have been maybe 23. Anyway, I spent 3 years previous to that. I did not work a single Saturday, not one. I refused to. It was just purely like, if you want me to sell cars here, I will not work Saturday. I don't care what's going on. And so I can do, you guys now get to know, are getting to know me more. So I'm like all in on whatever it is that I want to do right then. And if you, my store, are not all in on it, then I'll have a very serious conversation about finding somewhere that will, or explaining to them why I need to have it this way. And if that can't be agreed upon, then they know they know from experience, I have no problem leaving. Um, I prioritize my family over everything. And if I can't feel like I have the freedom to spend the time with them when I can, then I will not work wherever it is that I'm currently employed.
Right. And that's the thing too, is like right now where I'm at, they I get every other Saturday off, which is a nice perk, right? Because I'm like, hey, I don't want to work Saturdays. And they're like, well, we can
Yeah.
give you every other Saturday. I'm like, I'll take it. So
Yeah.
but I'm still trying to, balance, TikTok life, podcast life, dealership
It's a
life,
lot, man.
family life. And now I know I talked to you this other day when you were on my live yesterday. I'm teaming up with a realtor, right? And we're starting to
Yeah.
brand each other, right? So then I got to find time with that. So it's like my brain's like, "Woo," like in there, like a
It's a
little,
lot, dude.
like, So, but no, I like that answer for sure. And then here's the other one. How do you stay motivated?
Um, that's a great question, actually. So it started it started during COVID. I was right before COVID, I had this just eye-opening moment for myself. I had over the previous years put on roughly 100 pounds. Um, that I normally wasn't carrying around. I had never carried it around. And so for me, I knew it felt like I was wearing 100 pounds that I had never seen before. And so once COVID hit, I had decided that I was going to be motivated and get the habits started to lose the weight in the 10 weeks that I got laid off. And so once that till those 10 weeks it happened, I realized that the motivation wasn't motivation for me. It had to be a choice because I knew that because of just the way I was explaining earlier that the second I feel like I have to do something, I will intrinsically not do it or do the opposite of it purely to prove to my own ego or myself that I'm in control in some weird twisted way. And so what I decided was the same way I decided I didn't drink anymore. I was like, okay, I don't drink. Like if anybody ever asks me, I'm not going to say I can't drink. I don't drink. So if it's, hey Roger, how are you motivated? If I'm not motivated, I just do things. It's I don't. I set a goal and I go after it until it is either met or until the time frame that I gave myself to do that thing is up. And so I would say the motivation comes from you guys right now. I legit open up TikTok every morning and I see how many videos have been posted. And I love the CCG challenge. Um, because while am posting generally more times a day than most, the fact that I've got 90 people in there saying they're posting all the time, like, what are these people doing? I'm like, how are they posting?
Right.
Like, I love it. It's
And it's
purely
keeping us all
begun.
accountable too, right?
Yes, the
Like I
accountability
know
is huge for
you
me.
or you're holding me accountable whether you know it or not. You're like 1 out of 3 done, and I'm like, I gotta post one. And then it's
Yeah.
like I won't look at the messages, and then like next thing I see is 3 out of 3 done, and I'm like, I gotta
Yeah.
post 2 more. I'm
Yeah.
behind. And so like I'll post 2 and I'm like, all right, mine are posted.
It's good. No, I love it. I honestly, and that's why I did it like that. I was like, I didn't want to because I already knew I posted more than most anyway, like especially the consistency. So, but you know what? I'm like, I'm not even gonna like say anything with it. I just want to post that I'm doing it so you guys can see that, hey, this is when he's doing it. He's doing it again. He's doing it again. I'm like, this because
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
doing it
just
for
like, oh,
myself.
I'm behind. I'm behind. I'm behind. Like I gotta get it going. Especially when I see like the 1 out of 3, I'm like, all right, it's still early in the morning. I'll post one. And then
Yeah.
I'll check it later that afternoon. It's like 3 out of 3, and I'm like,
Yeah. I usually
uh-oh.
have two ready from the day before at least, like fully edited. Like right now I've got tomorrow's mornings ready. And then from there, I know what I will. I've got a couple things ready, but it's purely because I'm so bad at remembering that if I'm not constantly doing, then it won't get done. Like I can tell you right now, I've got yesterday morning, no, I'm sorry, Sunday morning, I posted 12 videos that I hadn't yet posted to TikTok or to YouTube because that's my least like it's like my least caring about posting daily platform because of the way that the content I make. I want it to be more searchable via like Google and YouTube. So I know that once it's on there, if somebody's looking for it, it will be found.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't care as much. So like I legit right now, I think I've got 10 videos that I haven't posted into YouTube still.
Okay. So I don't feel as bad because
Yeah.
I post on YouTube daily. So that's the one thing I do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I post daily.
Okay, yeah.
No,
So I was really good. I was doing it honestly up until a couple weeks ago. I like really it was more like that ego thing. I'm like, ah, screw it. I'm like, I'm posting so much. Oh my gosh. Like you need to slow down, dude. Like, and then I'm going, okay, if I then I do the math, I'm like, okay, if I post 56 more times by not between now and the end of the year, I'm like, that'll be 1,000 times per platform. I can say I posted 4,000 times this year.
that's crazy because I only post once a month, and these guys know. And I'm like, ever since this challenge thing, I'm like, I'm posting every day now. It's like, oh my gosh, this is like not me. This is not me, but I gotta do it. I gotta do it. But here's my last question before I hand it
Yeah.
over to Zach. What would you tell baby Roger or vice versa?
I've got Roger the third, man.
Like, what would you tell baby Roger? Like, any advice?
Younger me.
Younger
Yeah.
you.
Younger you.
That's a good question. I would tell him, I would tell him that he isn't as cool as he thinks he is. Um, that would be the biggest thing. I found that out. Luckily, if you guys watched any of my 13 years of sobriety live the other day.
I was on that live. Yep.
Yeah, so in some of those stories, I learned, luckily for me, I call that time, I literally call it, everybody that knows me knows what I call it the worst, best thing that's ever happened to me. Because I was, and that's where I got that phrase I've been using, humility isn't humiliating. And it's because I had to kill my ego. I had to kill the cool Roger, the guy that thought he was cool, right? And that guy got me into a rehab facility. That guy got me into jail. That guy got me into a lot of opportunities as well. And so I tried to keep what I could, but I had to kill most of that guy. Like it was pretty rough. And so I would tell younger me that if you can somehow realize it without learning the hard way, that you're not as cool as you think you are.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, Zach, it's all you, my friend.
Awesome. Well, first off, I'm so glad that you jumped in. I did not know who you were until you did the video for the Danny
Oh, the
on Wheels
Danny on
co-host.
Wheels challenge.
Yes. And I was like, man, she's like, hey, we have another contestant. And I was like, man, who is this? Then I start looking at your content and I was like, oh man, where has
Thanks,
he
man.
been? So I'm
Yeah.
very glad you did that. So that's the first thing.
Appreciate it.
So one thing that you said is about having the bad months, and that happens to a lot of people, and it has pushed some people out of the business. So
Oh yeah.
what advice do you give when having that bad month on how to push through it to keep on going?
That's a great question too, Zach. The biggest thing for me, and I really like the social media part of it, of doing this recently. Like I truly feel accomplished at the end of the day, posting my 3 videos, catching the content that I did, even if I didn't deliver anything. Because I'm building the brand, because I truly understand the long-term vision of who Roger Bacon Jr. is and what experience the difference is. And I think that by pushing through those days of not delivering stuff, or the months of only doing, hypothetically, if you're a 20 car guy and you're doing 15 or you're doing 12 or you're doing whatever that number might be, and so you're doing it 3 months in a row and you're like, man, dude, what is going on? And it is a couple things. It would be, remember that the people sitting in front of you have no clue how many cars you've sold or not sold. So there, and at the same, in the second breath of that sentence, it's, so don't give them the ick. Don't give them the vibe that, man, you're probably not gonna buy this car anyway. I'm gonna go show it to you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
the last 20 people have not bought this car. You are definitely not buying this car.
Love it.
So that would be the advice.
Yeah, no, I love it. That's great because it happens to so many things. It's like you don't want that car. It's like, wait a second. Shh.
Yeah.
So
Who am I to
You
tell
do
you what
want
you
that
want?
car.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you're not in their shoes. You have no
Yeah.
idea what their wants and needs, and you
Yeah.
don't make their decisions or their payments.
Correct.
So,
You don't know. Yeah. You don't know what they were just driving. You don't know anything. So
yep, love it. So basically, from here, my question is, we've been asking you questions all night. Do you have questions for all of us or anyone on the panel?
I really, my biggest thing with the social is always about the social media stuff. Like, what is your guys' goal? And you guys tell individually answer this if you'd like. Like, I'm very now, obviously, I'm very forthcoming when people ask me about it. Obviously, I don't make content about why I make content, but I'm, I'm very in this for, like, if for the, I want to be I was telling my wife's friend today, a thought leader in the business. or like I want to be somebody known for the way that I think about how the dealer world, you know, works in in the rest of the world. And so what is your guys' goals with that? Is that something that you think of? Or is it because I don't think about selling more cars. It sounds funny to say, like, I don't think about selling more cars by making my content. That is not why I make it. And so, but it seems like a lot of us do that for that reason. So what would you say you work yours is, Zach?
So this whole thing started. My son is in interactive multimedia in the technical school here in Trumbull County, and he just started to watch the TikToks and say, "Man, he's catching car stuff." Because obviously, when you talk about it, stuff starts coming up.
Yeah, for sure.
He goes, Dad, you're a character. You can do this. Now he's watching the funnier reels and
Sure.
seeing it. That's what he started on. That's what he started me on. He had me dancing in the back of a truck right on the main
Yeah.
highway. And I'm like, what am I doing? I am not this young kid. He's in his teenage. I'm 40 years old. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
what
yeah.
is going on? But then I did it. And then I realized, man, this is getting attention from the people that I've sold cars to that see me on social medias. I posted it
Yeah.
to my own page and they were like, wow, what is this? And I realized then this is a great, I guess mine is it was a great marketing. Now, I use that because the dealership that I'm at, we're an independent dealership.
Sure.
We don't budget any we don't have
Marketing money.
any, yeah, we have no marketing budget. We just don't
Yeah.
have the money for it. So it was just purely, well, how can I get back out there? Because
1,000%.
I took
Love
three
that.
years off of selling cars. When I first joined, I mean, not completely off, I did part time, but COVID kicked me out of the business at a used car lot. We just didn't have the inventory. And when I first got into going to the business, we were loud. Everybody started to know who we were. And then it grew into I came back and I'm like, nobody knows what this place is. So how do I get back out there? And that's what
Yeah.
I've been using it for since day one. So yeah, it's more on the selling car side
Marketing.
of it.
Yeah.
But I've realized it's bigger than that. And that is just starting to recently come into it by one doing this podcast. We're getting a lot of people that are very excited to do it. And that's very exciting to me because I'm like,
Yeah.
this isn't about selling cars. This is about training, learning, hearing stuff from you, from the other people, and you can implement that. So I like that
Yes.
part of it too.
That's cool. What about you, Taylor?
Kind of known of like who I am, but right now I'm kind of in the mix of struggling with what I want to do with my content. Just because I do work at a dealership, but I also just wrote a book and I'm trying to push that out there, right? And for anybody who's read the book, it's not really about the front lines of sales. It's more of the behind the scenes of it and the emotional like intelligence and the confidence and things like that that can get ruined very quickly.
Yeah.
And how to build it and like how it builds back up and things that you do and like lessons that you learn. And like as you had mentioned earlier, like in the dealership world, it's not what everybody thinks it is just looking from the outside in. There's a lot of moving parts that goes on behind the scenes that nobody knows about.
Oh yeah.
Um, and so for me, I'm kind of in between struggling of what route I want to push with it because I have such a like two great things that I can do. I don't know what to do with it yet. So if you can tell, my content's kind of just all over the board. It's car content, book content, signing content.
Yeah.
It's like there's no consistency in it. So right, I'm just kind of in that struggle phase of what I want to really hone in and focus on, or how I can tie all of it together.
That's cool. Well,
So
I think the book's
probably the worst
awesome.
one to answer.
Yeah, no, I
But
think, I would, that's right. Like, that's I was calling it a chasm the other day. I'm like, it's a massive, like, it's a big problem, right? We have, right? Because I do need to sell more cars. Like, I'm not naive to that. Like, I can't just be making these videos and then, like I said, my thought was to make money off the content itself. not to sell more cars from the content. And so now I'm like, okay, do I want to do that? Like, do I want to? So I was
Right.
talking to Sean Seals Deals. Him and I have been chatting through text, and dude, I think I need to hire an assistant for real. Like, I think I need to actually like invest my own money into hiring somebody to do this because I need to sell more cars. And what's happening is my educational content is now resulting in a bunch of DMs of people going, "Hey, can you tell me about this?" I had a dude from Texas hit me up. I mean, I'm having people hit me up from all over the place. I'm going, I really wasn't prepared for an influx of people to talk to. Like, I was really hoping for a bunch of, honestly, I was really hoping for a bunch of dealerships in leaderships, dealer leaders to be like, hey, Roger, I love the way you think as a salesperson. I need you to come talk to my team and go, so they can get this view, this frame of thinking and go approach our customer base differently. And maybe I haven't made that part known enough to the world so that people would hire me to do that. But that's essentially like I want to go speak on stages at dealer conferences because I truly think that my approach to experience the difference, which is honestly just, it's just the words that I use to catch it off. But I think that stuff is unique. Like the book is unique. Like having something to lean on and go, this is why you need to be listening to me because I actually look at this entire world that I'm in differently than other people. So much so that I needed to write a book about it. I needed to explain it to you so you could also know it. And like that is really what I think I'm finding that with the car world, I think it's because it takes so much care and so much effort to even be good at this job because it's a commission based job and because it's, nobody talks about this stuff, but it's incredibly low margins to compared to retail world. And again, I'm coming from retail, so I mean, incredibly low margins, incredibly low. And so because we're in these things and we need to sell so many cars, we need to do these things in order to make the money that people think we're making. Um, it's unique to have these other things that we can go, hey, I also do this too. I'm also a thought leader. I'm also a book writer. I'm also a podcaster. I'm also I also bring value in these ways. And you should also be, not even paying me, but paying me attention for this stuff so that it, educates the world. I think that's where really what it is like, just put more of us out there, man. Like whoever has the desire to share the information about any job they have, any career they have, whether it's the guy that stocks the shelves at Walmart going, hey, just so you guys know, if you're standing here and you're looking at this label, this is how you know it's fresher or not. This is how you know it's this or that. We're going to go, oh, thanks, Walmart, dude. Like, you're
Right.
the man.
Right.
Like, thank you for giving us the insight. I didn't realize that people at your job took it that seriously. Thank you for sharing that with me because as a consumer, that's going to help me. Whether it's the rice video or the mashed potatoes video or the pork chop, like it doesn't matter. It's whoever cares about what they do needs to be talking more about it. And these platforms that allow us to talk about it are awesome. I mean, it's cool that we can go live for 7 hours. It doesn't cost us $1 to do it. We can meet new friends, find new people to do these things with, and go, hey, oh, you care about that part of the business. Oh, sweet. I don't. Tell me about it. Like, I don't know about that part. Oh, I didn't realize you cared about that. I actually don't care anything about that. Like when you were talking about the carryover from service, everybody's been telling me, Roger, you need to go service to sales, service, like bring them over, bring them over. I'm like, dude, I don't care about, they're like, and then you're like, yeah, dude, that's my whole job. I'm like, what? What do you mean that's your whole job? You're like, I'm the person. I'm like, okay, apparently I'm an idiot. I don't know what I don't know, I guess. Like, why is that important? Like, you're like, yeah, I saw a bunch of cars doing that. How many cars? You're like 30. I'm like 30. What? From service? You're like, yeah, all the time. I'm like, what? I'm an idiot. What have I been doing? That's what I mean. It's we don't know what we don't know. And I think people need to be sharing that more. So that is why I need to know what Danny needs to know. What's Danny's goal with the social media?
I want to be famous, bro. Just kidding. Here's the thing with me. Like, I've always focused a lot on Facebook. Like these last years, it's always been Facebook, 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 right? And I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm getting all these people DM me on Facebook and stuff like that. I'm trying to do TikTok. My goal is like be known before I'm needed, just like Texas Car Guy says, just like you say, like everybody else says, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh, like that salesman's like horrible or whatever, right? I want someone to like actually know me,
Yeah.
and feel comfortable. Like there's people that are like, hey, I feel like I've known you for a while, and I'm like, I know, but we just kind of just met, right? Like I don't know who you are, but you know who I am. So that's
Yes.
the thing with TikTok, right? I want people to know
Love
who
it.
I am and stuff like that. And if a deal comes out of it, great, But if not, at least I made a friend, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing there. And this is the whole thing about doing this podcast too, is meeting people like you, Roger, meeting other people that we've done, making those connections, because it's like, dude, I didn't know you did this or that, People open up to us, and it's kind of like it feels good, I like it.
Yeah, and honestly, like I said, I was pumped. You guys, I consider you three. I was talking about it yesterday. I'm like, you guys are the first because of Danny's challenge, right? Like Danny's
Yeah.
challenge is the reason that I know you guys, and I will forever be grateful for for that and for you guys just for this whole experience in general. It's kind of wild because I see you every day. Like I see you guys every single day. I'm watching your videos. I'm trying to jump on your lives. If I'm not jumping on, I'm paying attention, right? Like I didn't realize I would care so much about people that I've never met,
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
Yeah. That's what Zach, Danny, and I were just talking about the other day about the whole TikTok thing. It's actually been very wild that on TikTok alone, we've built lifelong connections, right? Like I talk to Zach and Danny every single day, pretty
Yeah.
much all day.
Yeah.
And like there's been other people like Roger, you and I will text on the side about
Oh,
some
yeah.
things. Danny on Wheels and I have conversations, Mopar Dad and I, Veterans in Automotive Katie. I mean, a lot of these people we've built real life connections with.
Yeah.
And I think for me it's a little bit different because I've got to meet a lot more people in person
Yeah.
on the TikTok world. So I've
You're
gotten
the
to
only
see,
one.
yeah, I've gotten to see them all like in person and stuff. So, but I mean, we've built our own family
Oh,
at the
yeah,
end
for
of the
sure.
day. And it's cool that we've built a family that every single one of us understands what the other person is going through with
Oh,
their
yeah.
job
Yeah.
because we've all been there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's kind of one of those you can vent to somebody or talk to somebody and they know exactly
Oh, yeah.
how
Danny
you're
was,
feeling about it.
we were doing a live, we were going to do a live shoot. Well, yeah, what, 3 or 4 weeks ago. And she's like, hey, I just can't today. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Totally get it. She's like, you got it? I'm like, I got it. We're good.
Yeah,
And
it's just
it's
we've
better
built
that
these
way.
relationships and connections, and it's just been insane. It's
For
just been
sure. I mean,
insane.
so it was definitely I was not like
Yeah.
making friends on social media of all places, like actual people I looked forward to seeing.
Right, because like they used to be like, "Hey, don't talk to strangers on the internet," and don't
Yeah,
like.
straight up. I'm yeah, totally.
Hey, we're car
Totally.
salespeople. We were born to talk to strangers.
All
Yeah.
the time. All the time.
Well, that's another thing too. Like I am in my dealership, I'm weird. Like I work more than everybody else. And they would consider this work, which I also consider work, but like because it's geared towards my career, but like it's still really cool. Like I still really like it. Like
Yeah,
you know
I
what I
get
mean? Like
that.
Fun.
it's
You're not being managed by other people. You get to
yeah,
just
I'm
you're
doing what I
managed by
want to do.
you and only
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I get that
okay.
because my other coworker, he's like, man, he's like, I don't know how you leave here and then go home and sit there and you come back and you talk about how you went on live and talked about the car business. He's like, that's the last thing I want to do. And I'm like, that's the thing I look forward to the most. I'm like, man, I had a crap day at work, but I'm gonna go and talk about car business stuff. And then
Yeah.
it's like, oh man, I get to see my friends, I get to hang out, and
Yeah.
it's so strange, but it's
We have
awesome.
these conversations all the time. If somebody's not live, we're like, "What do we do? We're always
Yeah.
here. We're always here." Like,
There's always
Yeah,
someone.
what do we
straight up.
do?
I'll start scrolling, and I'm not even the one hosting anything. I'm just like, why is nobody live right now? I'm like, okay. I'm
And you
like,
don't see
I'll come
somebody
back
for a
in 20
while.
minutes. I'm sure somebody will be.
Yeah, you don't see somebody for a while, and you're like, "Are you okay? Like, what
Yeah.
Yeah.
happened? Is everything going well?" And you're like,
Yeah.
"No, I just took a break. Sorry."
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, it's just been so cool.
Yeah,
So
that'll
cool.
be. And I'm literally trying to like think about if I am going to take a break. No joke, because I have this I have like such strict rules for myself. Like even when I was literally I was out for almost a week and a half, like sick. Like and I didn't do a live, the one live I didn't do with Danny, I was sick. But I went back and I found videos that I had done and I went and edited them all so I could have 3 videos a day to post
Dang.
while I was out. I'm like, oh my gosh, this sucks. This is so much work. But like I have these rules, right? I'm like, I'm posting 3 times a day from July 1st to the end of the year, no matter what. If I don't, then know something bad happened.
Oh,
Straight up, because
you're gonna have 500
I
text
am
messages going, "Oh
relentless.
no!"
Yes, Roger, what happened? Like I won't be surprised if you guys are like, Roger, what happened? We didn't
Where's
post,
my
we didn't see.
bacon?
where's my bacon?
Yeah. So it's
Mr. Zach, do you have any more questions?
No, I do not. That was it. Thanks, though.
Well, I guess, Roger, we're going to hit you with the last one. And
let's
you're
do
ready
it.
for this one. If you had the attention of everybody in the automotive industry for 60 seconds, what would you say to them?
I would say, let's see, 60 seconds starts now. No,
It starts now.
I would say we suck at communicating how much we care to customers so bad that they hire people who don't want anything to do with the car business to help them. That is my entire MO. My main objective in the car business is to defeat that from within. I have the idea that I have now planted roots in the industry so that I can blossom, in a sense, a whole new version of what the car industry is and the type of people that customers should be doing business with. And I think that is the true meaning of experience the difference.
Man, with that being said, everybody, this is the end of the episode of the Dealership Download with Roger Bacon Jr. Make sure you guys do go find him on all social media platforms and give him a follow. Also, make sure you check out the link in all of our previous videos and make sure you order my book and stay tuned for next week's episode.
Thank you guys.
Bye.